Hi, I'm Tim Warner, Media Editor with Pearson Technology Group. Welcome to this on-certification video podcast episode entitled About the Cram Professional Certification Booklist. Our agenda for this brief screencast is as follows. I'm going to teach you a little bit about our other titles. You may have used Cram in the past, or maybe you're using Cram now for your IT certification study success. However, the Cram imprint has a whole bunch of other titles for other professions that aren't strictly speaking in information technology. I'll also provide you contact information if you want to reach me directly with any questions, concerns, suggestions. Cram is one of our imprints at Pearson, an imprint simply being a brand, a book brand. I myself am not just part of Cram's product team, but I'm a devoted user of the product. In point of fact, back in 1996, 1997, when I was pursuing my first certifications in Windows NT 4, it was the Cram books that largely prepared me to pass those exams. Cram continues even today as a terse exam preparation tool. Now, terse meaning Crams are on the shorter side, and that's by design. If you want a telephone directory style book to give you soup to nuts subject matter coverage, that's one thing. Once you have that knowledge down and you want to pare down on the skills and the concepts that you're likely to see on the test, that's where Cram comes in. Cram historically has had lots and lots of practice questions to help you get into the frame of mind to pass your exam and to just get you some skills in test taking, which I've always held test-taking skills being just as important as subject matter skills in terms of certification. Now, the subject of this screencast, of course, is to look at some key titles in our Cram line that are not associated with IT certification. I mean, we have the A+, the Network+, the Microsoft certification, the Cisco certification, security, all of that stuff is well and good. But if, for instance, you're considering joining the U.S. military and you have to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB exam, and you want to make sure that you can do as well as possible on that test to ensure that you have maximum flexibility once you are in the armed forces, we have an Cram title for that test. Project management, if you're interested in the project management professional certification, for instance, we have you covered there. If you're planning to become a public school teacher in the United States and you want your license, you'll be studying for the Praxis exam. We have that. We have several titles actually devoted to various levels of nursing certification, from the CNA all the way up to the RN and beyond. For some civil service type positions, we have police officer, postal clerk, and then in the professional space again, in particular human resource professionals who want to study for the PHR certification, well, why don't you check out Cram? At this point, I'm going to take you out onto the web and I'll show you some of these titles, what they look like in living color, and give you a heads up on how to purchase one or more of them if you're interested. Okay, we're starting our journey here on the informit.com website. Hopefully you've been to InformIT before. This is a portal for the Pearson Technology Group where you can read up on all the latest titles as well as our backlist titles from imprints that we know and love in IT, I hope. Addison Wesley Professional, Cisco Press, IBM Press, Pearson IT Certification / Cram, Prentice Hall, Q, and SAMS. And to get started here, I'll just search for a specific non-IT certification. For instance, the NCLEX exam. This is a very popular exam that potential nurses need to take. And sure enough, we see some results. One really popular product is the NCLEX RN Cram. You'll note that the professional versions of Cram are blue as compared to what is traditionally red for our IT certification Crams. The very latest fleet of Cram products have a new uniform styling. But in terms of what's already out there over the last several years, you've got blue for non-IT and red for IT. Now, the way we sell these, of course, you can buy the paper book if you're a traditional person. You can buy the ebook, the PDF ebook, or you can actually get a bundle where you have both the electronic and the paper edition. Of course, the great thing about having the ebook is that it's infinitely more searchable than the paper text is. Next, I'm going to do a site search for Cram. And I'm going to do a site sort by publish date to get our more recent titles up on top. And there we have ASFAB, there we have Praxis 1, etc. And there you can see again that distinction, the red motif for the IT. Although Project Management Professional has the IT branding, you certainly don't have to be an IT project manager to be interested in the PMP certification. Another site, it's part of the Inform IT network that you should be aware of, is our Pearson IT certification site. This is a devoted web portal for the Pearson Technology Group's IT Pro Cert group, of which I'm a member. In point of fact, I've created a separate on-certification video podcast episode that's devoted to the Pearson IT certification website. So there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, curiosities, etc. for me, I'd like to share my contact information with you. Again, my name is Tim Warner, and my email address is timothy.warner@pearson.com. To find me on the web, as well as to browse the Pearson Technology Group's IT certification titles, please hit up our website at pearsonitcertification.com. In particular, I'd like to draw your attention to the blog that I maintain there, as well as our certification discussion forums. In point of fact, I've created another episode of On Certification focused on those discussion forums. Finally, I semi-regularly update the On Certification Twitter feed with all the latest news, tips, and tricks with regard to IT certification. That address is twitter.com/oncertification. Thank you very much for taking the time to view this video podcast. Take good care.